Are you a Catholic? Recently, I was asked this question. Actually, I was asked this question when I was in hospital with my mom. Some visitors had come, and some of them were church members. And as they were leaving, they prayed. And I think there's something I didn't do that is very Catholic. And one person, he knows himself, noted it, and he asked me this question, and I didn't answer it. Why? One, because I didn't want to lie, and two, I didn't want to get my mom any sicker. So why didn't I answer this question there and then? Here's why.
Here she comes like the rays of the sun, she shines. A 10 out of 10, Lord, she's no less than a dime. Sets my soul on fire and helps me unwind, yeah. The right kind of woman to help me feel fine. And I've been waiting for most of my life to have this love come and get my stride and carry on. And carry on.
Hi, darlings. Welcome to today's conversation. So, today's conversation has me a bit nervous because I don't want you to get me into trouble, and it might, I don't know, but as I was thinking about doing this, and also as I read through some things and watched some videos, I reminded myself that one of the purposes of creating this channel was to be able to discuss and air out issues that were a bit tricky and a bit to an extent taboo for us, especially as Africans and Kenyans, to talk about or to discuss, and to be able to garner honest and genuine ideas and thoughts and ways of tackling these issues and tackling life and everything around us. So I am going into this with a clean heart, with no judgment, just speaking out my truth from my point of view and trying to garner what everyone's thoughts are about this and about this topic and how they feel. And again, no judgment at all. As you will see, me, I come from a diverse background. I've always talked about it. Whether it comes to tribes, my family is made up of almost all the tribes in Kenya. Whether it comes to religion, faith, I have friends, and actually even my family is all mixed up. We have Muslims in the family, Catholics, Anglicans, African Inland Church goers, SDA, I tell you, plethora, friends, family, everything. Me, I am a well mixed person, and I love it so much because it has opened up my mind to everything. It has removed any judgment or any how can I put it any affiliations or a certain connection to a particular thing. I have such a wide way of thinking and reasoning, and it mainly comes from my exposure within not only my friends and family scope but everywhere, and I love it. I truly love it. So consequently, my about in public, the topics I really ignore talking about in public because they can go from 0 to 100 so damn fast. So mainly politics and religion I avoid at all cost. Kuna ile nyingine sitaongea hapa, lakini pia hiyo I don't really talk about it, but I intend to do it. I want to start with the group first so that we can slowly tip my toe in it. But politics I can ignore for the most part of it. We were in a divided house here during the previous election. My mom was in another camp and I was in another camp, but we survived. And that's why I say I like how I have been raised and how I am, because I am always in diversity, and I live with people who have so many different views, so many different backgrounds, everything, and we mesh well. And that's why I think I can live almost anywhere in the world, because if it's acceptance yani mi tu ni mtu wa watu, wacha niseme tu hivyo in Kiswahili. Yeah, so I avoid. So politics is easy to avoid. It's easy, yeah, but religion is almost always in your face. Start by quickly saying I don't judge anyone based on their religious practices. Never have, never will, never ever 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 ever. As I've said, even in my own family, we're very different in our thoughts, in our ways. Everyone, I have cultivated friendships on people's characters, how we relate, how you relate to other people, how you treat other people. That is where I base my friendships and relationships in, and not in any other social norm or practice or all those things, right? Let me start by saying that. So I was born and raised. Yes, I was born and raised. I had to think about it because my mom was Anglican at some point. was brought up in the Anglican church, and I think she converted to being a Catholic when she was in high school. But my dad, I think, had always been Catholic. But I was born and raised in a Catholic practicing home, and I went through all that. I was baptized, I received first Holy Communion, I was confirmed. I went to Loreto Convent, which is a sister-based institution at some point. I went to Maryhill Girls High School, also sister-run. All coincidence, especially from high school. Primary, I went to various primaries. I think I went through almost 7 primaries in my lifetime, so it was also a coincidence. I went to Maryhill Girls High School, again I've said, also sister-run, Catholic based. I went to Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Total coincidence also as well. My aunt, who had been working there at the time, recommended it as a good institution to learn it, and she is not Catholic, so it was not based on religion, but it was the best choice for me at that particular time. But as you see, I have grown up in the Catholic religious practice. That's where I have been raised in. I've always grappled with the idea of religion, and please bear with me. There's a point here. Please bear with me and listen to me as I go. I've always grappled with the idea of religion, because there are some who, in my opinion, forgive me for judging, are very, very, very religious, but their actions, I don't know, they don't mesh with the God of my understanding or the higher power of my understanding. There are people whose prayers can blow the roof out of this house or any other building, but how they relate, how they treat others, and how they speak really does not conform or does not appropriate with the message they claim to proclaim. I believe God or your higher power is a God of love, a God of understanding, a God of mercy, a God of grace, a God of peace. Did I mention love? Yes, a God of love. So when you are appropriating that you are one with God, and your fellowship and your everything, but your actions do not align with these proclamations you're making, it gives you some to question marks there. And yes, I know we are human, we fall short. I fall short all the time. But Bane, if you are short all the time you are short, then there is a problem. Even in our weaknesses, we have instances of mercy. Even in our weaknesses, we have instances of grace, of peace, of love, of kindness. So if you are proclaiming to be of God and with God and entwined in all his qualities, and yet when you go out there, what you're doing is not in your actions. Actions, it is a cliche, but actions speak louder than words. How you act towards other people especially, to me, is the standard. It is the ISO of the your character, and how your inner workings, how you are on your insides, how you, if there is turmoil, it will be seen in your actions, but if there is peace, it will also be seen in your actions. So that's why I grapple with religion, and that's why I think a majority of people do, because when you are claimed to be one of God, every Sunday you are the first one to church wearing your favorite dress, praying your loudest praise, or on your knees throughout the whole service or throughout the whole mass. But once you leave that mlango of that church, you're the first one to say, to tell your child, we mujinga, nilikwambia uende kurudu. You have just talked out there, you're busy talking about Juliet and their family, and how they are this and this and that. Oh, you have not even gone a step further. You get where I'm going with this. I don't want to go deep down into the nitty-gritty, but that is what leads many, I believe, including myself, to grapple with the idea of religion. And to me, religion is a practice. Religion is, let's say, like for Catholics, the way you pray the rosary, that is religion. The way you have mass, that is religion. For Muslims, the way they go to mosque every Friday, that is religion. But to me, there's a very big difference between religion and your spirituality. A very, very big difference. I have also had a conflict because of different ways of worshiping that speak to me, that may not particularly be enshrined in the Catholic religious practice. The different ways of, let's say, like meditation. The Catholic religion, I'm speaking mainly about Catholic because that's where I was raised, and it is due to no disrespect. My mom is a staunch Catholic, very staunch, and I respect all religions. I have no qualm with religion. I'm just speaking from my point of view. So that's why I was saying, to me, there's a big difference between religion and spirituality. I don't think God is enshrined in a particular church or in a particular mosque or in a particular synagogue. I believe when we are true in worship, we are all worshiping a one God or one higher power. We just have different ways of connecting or gaining clarity or gaining wisdom from this said higher power. And that's where spirituality comes in, because personally, in as much as I was raised in the Catholic faith, I have my own spiritual practices. Like I say, I pray in the morning, I go through my devotions, I say my affirmations, I meditate whenever I have time, I do my gratitude list. I believe that is also a way of connecting with your spiritual self, or growing your spiritual nature, having gratitude and thankfulness for every blessing in your life. That's why I don't believe that to be spirituality is assigned to a certain church, to put it plainly like that. And that's why I keep on arguing. There's a friend of mine, he knows himself. I keep on arguing with him that I am more spiritual than religious. I can go to, like, I listen a lot to Joel Austin, I listen to Nick Fruitic, I listen to TD Jakes. I can also watch a mass. Maybe there's some times where there's a preacher who really speaks out to me, and I like a lot of practicalness when it comes to my messages, because we live in a practical life. We don't live in some of the verses that maybe people might try to. We live in a practical life. So I like a lot of messages and words and devotions that channel directly into daily living, so that you can be able to apply it to your daily living, and you're not engorged or enshrined in a particular word. It says A, B, C, D, so you do A, B, C, D. I believe in doing what is right at all times and not following something just to follow, regardless of what may be right or what may be true or what may be correct, like how you approach someone else. To me, you cannot, and I'm sorry to use this, I hope it offends no one, there is a lot of stereotyping in our day-to-day life, where it be it through tribal channels, or especially and particularly religious. So I really get arced out when, let's say, a Christian is stereotyping someone because they are of the Muslim faith. I really get annoyed. I really get worked up, because in the end, God or your higher power advocates for love and acceptance of each and every individual, regardless of their color, regardless of their creed, regardless of their social economic background, regardless of their education, and especially their religion. Because at the end of the day, if you are practicing kindness and love and mercy and grace, then we are all of the same God. It does not matter where you go to connect with this God. I connect with him in my SQ every other day, sometimes at work, because I have a shift job, as most of you know. So sometimes we stay the whole night at work, and I still try to do these practices I do every morning, even at work. So I seclude myself somewhere, do my prayer, do my devotion, do my affirmations at work. And it doesn't mean that because I am at work, God is not there with me, or my higher power is not there with me. Absolutely not. So that's why I say, if you're preaching this, and then you are the first one to criticize someone because maybe of the way they look, then who is this God which you are preaching? If I may ask. Yes, maybe I am judging, I am sorry if I am, but it is just the absolute truth. Which God is this who advocates for you to discriminate against a fellow human being because of where they come from or a religious practice they follow? Which one? This is my reasoning. This is my reasoning. I don't know what you think about it. I would really love your thoughts on it. Comment below and let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I believe in a greater power, a source that guides us in life, a source that guides us in life, a source that is filled with love and light, that is there to guide us in this life journey, so that we can be our best selves here, and we can fulfill our greater purpose in life, to connected together, and we can try to tap into our most genuine selves and share it with others. I believe that we just have but different names and different ways that in which we connect to and tap into this higher power. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Let me know below. Me personally, I can go into any church and worship as long as it is a church. Yeah, as long as mujawi. As long as you go mjawi. Mchawi is a witch doctor. As long as it's not a witch doctor, as long as it is a church, I can go and worship in. My mom knows this. I listen to words all the time. I believe she hears from where I am. It is not so far. I can worship anywhere. And I believe in love, and I believe in people, and I believe in everything that brings us closest together as human beings, because there's no way you can live in an oasis, and you're not the only one who is right, because that's what we tend to. I think that's why we tend to discriminate most of the time. It's being shrunk in that belief that what I believe is what is there and it is what is right. We need to be open in order to accept and allow all these different. You can get a very beautiful, fulfilling, soul-filling spiritual connection and practice from anyone, anywhere, every time, as long as it is genuine and positive. That is what I believe in, and that is what I encourage for everyone. That's what I encourage for myself. And if I am blessed to have let's say a family, that is what I will enshrine in. I personally believe I am more spiritual than anything. I don't believe a god of a certain church to be more truer than another. I actually believe that we all worship a higher power, or we are all spiritually connected to a god, or to God, to one God, a higher power. I'm sorry for not being so immaculate in that description, but it is what it is. And I believe God resides in your heart and can be seen through your actions. So let us not be so nitty-gritty and so nitpicky about religion, this year religion, this year religion. That's what even causes most people not to prescribe to faith, because they tend to see it as, you are claiming to be of God, then why are you so judgmental if God is for us, all right? So I believe God resides in our heart and can be seen through our action, and you can quote me on that. And that's why I tend to believe that I am more spiritual than religious. All in all, darlings, I consider myself a Christian. I call my higher power God, but I don't believe that I am limited in ways that I can connect to him and tap into my higher power, be it through music, be it through devotion, be it through meditation, be it through gratitude, especially gratitude, sometimes just by nature. I think that's why I even love flying, because when I'm in the sky, I'm in such peace. I just love like the last time I was on a plane, I had my worship songs on, and I was just looking at the clouds, and I was just feeling like, oh, heaven with nature. I just believe there is no limit to how we connect to our spiritual selves, and we should not limit ourselves, we should not limit others, and especially not judge or shun or mock or stereotype because of a way someone chooses to express their spirituality. So I may go to a certain church, I may not, but I believe that doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my love for anyone, and it doesn't change my oneness with my creator, and it shouldn't anyone. It should not even a little bit. Okay, thank you so much, darlings, for indulging me in this topic. I pray I have not offended anyone. Comment below and give me your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for always supporting and watching. Stay blessed. Tudulz.